All right. Uh, Hopefully this is a good enough view. Tripod just arrived to my house, so can't really get you guys a better view as of currently. This is as good as it'll get. Good old fucking gear thing in the way. Yeah. Hopefully a new car soon, but I don't want to like do car talks too often. You know. I mean, I might just because it's a good way to it's a good way to process stuff mentally. It's a good way to process stuff mentally. And honestly, I just think it's good to go through your own thoughts, verbalize what you're thinking. Which is what I'm currently doing. So I just want to do with what I can on everything. Really just want to be happy and consistent with where I'm at right now. I'm going to school to be a personal trainer at the gym in Mesa, so that's pretty cool. Kind of building up like my personal training niche, but we'll we'll see how that full plan goes. Um, like if it goes according to plan, like the niche or whatnot, it might not automatically start that way with the plan, but it'll build towards it. That's all that matters. I just I'm glad that I'm doing right now what I love. I think lots of people in life, well, I think lots of people in life wish to do what they love, but they just were too scared because of the downsides of it. You know, because I bet you your dream wasn't to be an accountant, but live in a capitalistic society, you need to make that money, so you became one, or everything goes a certain way. Um, that does mean it's unfortunate that you didn't get to pursue your passion or your dream. And it might not just because of money, it might be because the physical aspects, the mental aspects, the list goes on. I'm rambling, but it's just important to try and strive for something, you know? Because maybe that something doesn't have to be your next job. Maybe that something can just be your hobby, or to get in better health, maybe to meet someone um, will be important to you, like a relationship or a new friendship. You know, it, we don't look in full aspects of things of life. Um, I'm not a philosopher. I'm not like not gonna be like, well, this is this because of this. I don't know that. I don't. I can only guess and assume, right? And that doesn't make my opinion special, but it makes it thought out. And I think that lots of us don't fully think out plans, goals, or ideas that we really want. You know, when I first got into high school, right, about 15, ninth grade, was when I got into fitness, right, when I got into weightlifting and MMA. And I remember watching Conor McGregor highlights, right? This is back in 2021, I believe. I remember watching Conor McGregor highlights because he had just lost his last fight, but everyone was like, remember his legacy, Now it's all gone to shit. That's besides the point. The point is, he got me into MMA really heavily. And when I got into MMA really heavily, I thought I was going to be like him, you know? But that's all I said is, I'm going to be like Conor McGregor. And I said this for a year without any training, Well, I had like hit the bag before. I've hit mats, but my form was still horrible, right? nowhere near even subpar. Like it's still like maybe even though I had a couple sessions, it barely looked like I had done anything back then, right? But all in ninth grade, had that attitude. I was going to be like Conor McGregor. And then a year goes by, right? I'm in 10th grade, and this is towards the begin my birthday, which is the beginning of the school year. My dad just is like, "So how are you going to do it?" He was like, "Have you looked at any gyms? Have you looked at going to the gym more often? Have you looked at X, Y, and Z? Have you looked at eating more, like better nutrition? Because I worked at fast food, I worked at Del Taco. Their nutrition not very good. Sure, between ninth and 10th grade, I put on probably 20 pounds, you know, but for my size, that wasn't impressive. I went from being 90 pounds, so I was about 5'7", 90 pounds, 95 pounds, to being 5'7" and 105 to 110 pounds, maybe 110 to 115 pounds, Not an impressive weight gain when all you have to do is eat 2,000 calories a day, right? Um, but that was about it. I hadn't looked in any gyms. I hadn't looked at going to the gym more. Like, I wasn't really interested in doing cardio or buying a punching bag with my money from my job. I was just like, I had no plan. My only plan, my only goal was I'm going to be one of the best in the world. I had no way to exercise that plan, right? And I think even as adults, that's one thing we always mess up on. Well, I'm gonna be like this guy. How? I don't know. Oh, well, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna get this job. How? I don't know. And it goes with so many things in life. We say it, we want it, we never act upon it, right? That's how lots of dreams die. Lots of dreams die just because you never acted upon it. Even if it's a dream or a goal, for it to truly be a dream or a goal, it has to be worked upon. It can't just be said. Because if it's just said, then it's just an afterthought. And for me, that was me for a year. You know, they had finally built an EOS near my house, and in the back of it, there was a heavy bag. And I would go out, and I would skip weightlifting. I wouldn't do weights. I maybe did 5 pound lateral raises, 10 pound bicep curls, right? I'd do like I'd do like 4 sets of 12. Really stupid lightweight, barely worked the muscle, horrible form, but I just wanted to be like, all right, mom, I worked out. I'm gonna go punch the punching bag. She would always get mad at me at punching the punching bag because I never had wraps or gloves. So I'd be on that punching bag in the outside, shaded desert, right? This is around summertime going into 10th grade, so it was right before. I had a buzzed head, looked horrible. And I was just punching that punching bag. 30, 40 minutes, horrible form, kicking it, like recording it, posting online, thinking it was awesome. Some people thought it was cool, just because it was like, oh shit, he's finally walking the walk and not just talking the talk. But I still barely acted upon it. I still struggled with my goal. I still barely did anything. You know, and it sucked even more because when I went to go punch that punching bag in the back of the EOS, well, now guess what? Because I have no gloves and I have no wraps, my knuckles are busted up. They're bloodied. Skin's knocked off. It's all gone, right? So now I have bloodied up, busted knuckles. I can't hit the heavy bag till at least a week after, to let my hands heal because I was getting boxer's fractures all over my hands. And I was just tearing myself apart. I wasn't doing the assault bike. I wasn't doing any weight. I was still barely doing any weights. And, like, I barely squatted 95 pounds, you know? And I feel like no matter how much you weigh or where you're at in your, well, scratch that. I feel like somewhere in your lifting journey, you should be able to lift easily, you know, as much as you weigh or 50 pounds more. Now, that's mainly saying if you start like how I started, right? That's not going for someone who just walked into the gym doors and is 400 pounds and obese. That's besides the point. For someone like me who wanted to really be active, really want to get going, really want to do X, Y, and Z, I should have been able to be stronger, you know? Been able to do more. Because that's what you always expect from yourself. And that's what others always expect from you. They always want you, well, not everyone, right? If you're in the right crowd, people will want you to push harder and go to that breaking point. They want you to break, but they want you to push hard enough to where you're working yourself, right? Not everyone gets that, you know? For me, in my personal experience, whenever I talk to a girl who's never worked out before, she doesn't understand what it's like to go to failure. She doesn't know that mental exhaustion of, well, fuck, I just pushed this hard, you know? She says, oh, good job, like, oh, good job, like, that's awesome, you know, but when you're 130 pounds and you're repping 225 no wrist straps for 12, and then moving up in your weights to hit 315 for 3 on deadlifts, that doesn't hit their mind as much as like, well, he has big arms, his muscles look nice. They don't think of, oh, his muscles look nice because of this. They just think of, oh, his muscles are nice, you know? But that was sidetracking. No, I reach your goal, you know? Just looping back on the whole thing. Reach your goal, find what drives you, right? That's what lots of us are missing. You know, you see that Kevin Levrone video of like him asking God, "What is my purpose?" And I think a lot, not to get, I'm not getting religious here, but I do think lots of us need to ask upon ourselves and have that insight upon us of what is my purpose? What do I want to do and what should I be doing for myself? You know, if you're religious, ask your God, you know? If that's your thing, ask your God. If that's not your thing, ask upon yourself. What is my goal? What is my purpose? What do I strive for? Because at the end of the day, you're living for you. You need to live for you. You don't need to live for someone else. You should not live for someone else. You should do the things you want to do. You shouldn't just see that Instagram post of someone doing X, Y, or Z and being like, fuck, I wish that was me. Work towards that, man. You know? You see someone with an amazing physique, you comment on it, and you're like, fuck, if only I had that. Go put the hours in. Go put the meals in. You know? You're not going to get it as fast as someone may say they did online. Everyone's different, right? That's one thing I've had to learn is that you see all these people online and they're like, oh, I just started lifting, you know, and they're benching 315 and maybe 6 months in. You know, I have a friend, not going to say his name, but I have a friend, right? He's been lifting half as long as me, little less, right? A year and a half at most, coming up on 2, and in November, and he's insane. His progress is phenomenal. He works so hard. He's he's acquiring that goal that he set upon himself that he wants and he desires because he wanted it. And so he went to go get it. Not all of us can do that. And I say not all of us can do that because not all of us know how to do that. It's not that we can't, it's that we don't know how to. And I feel like some people think of oh, I don't know how to do that, and they think of it as I can't do that. And I feel like that's another way we kind of internally kill our hopes. Is we're just like instead of well, I need to start at bottom one, right? And instead of them thinking, oh, I have to start at ground zero. This is serious, and I need to truly build up to where this person's at. They're like, well, he's there, I'm not there. It's not possible. They don't think of, oh, well, he's there, I'm here. Let me do what he did in the beginning to get there. They don't think of that. And instead of putting that together and thinking of it and doing that, they rip themselves down. They lack that. They just kill that drive immediately by saying it's not possible. And it's kind of scary, but it's very common. It's sad, and it's like no, you are capable of all these things. And this goes for everyone. Like, you can be a strong, motivational. Well, I don't know about motivational, but you can be a strong, well-rounded, healthy-minded person who wants to go after their ambitions. But it's like at one stage or another in some of your guys' lives, you saw something that you thought you weren't able to do, and you killed that ambition. You said, "Nah, that's not for me. I can't do that." You know, you're like, maybe you did a sport and you weren't number one, or you weren't the first pick for varsity, or maybe you missed by that much, whether it was winning state, qualifying for state, just doing something that impacted you. And now you're like, well, that's not for me. No more. I'm done. I can't. You know? And it's just, I don't want to be rude and say that's a loser mindset, but it's like, it kind of fucking is, It's like, you're supposed to always be wanting to do better, to be like, strive for more, and I mean, it's just like some of you guys hit that pothole and you're just like, fuck that, I can't. It's like, what do you mean? Well, I can't do it. He won state that year. I didn't qualify for state. I'm only in my sophomore year. It's impossible. It can't be done. You're wrong. Now, maybe let's not say that you ever make it to state or win state, but there shouldn't be that thought in your mind where it's like, I can't. It's over. It's done for. Better find something else. It's agitating, when you truly think about it, about how easily some people quit, where they'll say, I love this to death. This is my life, and then they fail, and then they give up, Oh, but then they try again next year. Oh, and they hit a pothole, and they fail. It's like, oh, I didn't go undefeated this season because 3-time state champion beat me, but I won everything else. Oh, well, I'm a failure and I quit. It's like, well, aren't you saying all this? Aren't you saying this is what you strive for? Aren't you saying that no matter what happens, you're still going to go for it? And they're like, oh, but you don't understand. X and Y and Z happened. It's like, I fucking do understand. I've been there. I've done that. But it's like people quit so easily on things to where it just makes you question. You know, like why quit so suddenly on such a long-term goal? Because not everything is short-term, right? You may say it so it sounds short-term, but it's not. It's not short-term. That thing you want is going to be a longer goal to obtain. It's going to take more than what you're putting in, right? But when you realize that, you quit on it immediately. When you realize, oh, it doesn't take this long, it takes this long. Oh, no, I can't. I'd rather do something else. Well, what is that something else? Well, I don't like that something else. So then why do it? You know? But it's easier, you know? My stepdad always told me that if you ever do something easy, it's usually not worthwhile. He always ingrained that in my mind. That if you did it the easy way, you're gonna fucking keep on doing it over and over and over again until it's correct. But if you just stick at it, you do it the hard way, right? You do it the hard way, you only gotta do it once. And he said that to me, and he's ingrained that in my mindset my entire childhood. You know? I have so much thanks to give that man. Um, and I don't. There's no reason why. I don't know how to show gratitude. I guess that's all I can really say. But that's sidetracking. But do what you want to do that makes you feel like you're spending the time in your life correctly, right? Don't do something because it's easy and you don't like it, right? Like so many people get a job that they hate, but it pays a little bit more than what they'd love to do, than what their passion was, right? But they get a little bit more money, but they fucking hate their job. They hate their afternoons. They hate waking up in the morning. They hate going to where they have to go, right? And they have no desire because they're on this routine of, well, I get this much money. Well, I get this much money. And then I can spend it. And then I could just hate the things that I have, but then I get to spend more money and I hate the things that I own, right? It's like that Fight Club quote. We buy the things we buy things we don't like to impress strangers. Well, it goes something like this. We buy things we don't like to impress strangers we don't like, right? And that's what the world's come to basically. No, people rarely go out of their way to do what they love, right? And it's all about that goal. It's all about that goal. It's all about that mindset. It's all about not quitting on what you want to be. You know, people are like, well, I hate this and I love this, but the thing I hate gives me 10 cents extra an hour. So I'm going to go do that and hate my life and not be able to get out of it because I don't have enough time to put into the thing I love to actually start that. You know, it's just sad, you know, but hopefully, hopefully we all change. Hopefully we all just stick at something that we love. Hopefully this talk opened your mind a little bit about that. I rarely think it will. I really doubt anyone's going to make it this far into this video. Um, I don't even know. I think I'm going to post this as a separate video, but just because it's literally so long. Maybe just listen to this before you go to bed. Get you in that mindset, right? But I got nothing else to say, man. You just got to keep at what you love. Or if you haven't started it, go start doing what you love and start making money from it. That's that's all I can say. That's what I'm doing. That's what you should be doing too. No matter what the extra bits and pieces say, whether just whatever, go do what you love, no matter the consequences, right? Just make sure it's truly who you think you are. But yeah, have a have an amazing rest of your day, and go pick up something heavy. Go start that goal. Go start that dream. Go start that passion.